your ruler.
Zod.
Your lands, your possessions, your very lives will gladly be given in tribute to me.
So, I just finished the What If Episode 2. What if Black Panther was Star-Lord? And oh boy, where do I begin? Where do I begin? See, I had really high hopes for this series. All the trailers for it looked really cool. The concept looked really cool. The different timelines and the variants and all that. I was excited. I was very excited for What If. I didn't hate I didn't love the first episode, right? There was a lot I found wrong with it, but I was like, okay, it's just the first episode. Just keep on with it, and it, you know. And then the trailer for the second episode looked really good. The idea was really fun. Like, it was a good premise. Just fucking people, man, yelling outside in the middle of the night. So the idea for the episode was really good. Black Panther becoming Star-Lord. But then I don't know what they're doing in the writers' room. Like, they're getting so many things wrong in the writers' room for these episodes. Like, I mean, it was hard to watch. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I should have took notes, because this is going to be a rant, but they butchered so much stuff. They butchered, I mean, right off the bat, like, the original Star-Lord in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, when they come in, Star-Lord's like, I'm Star-Lord, guys. How do you guys not know who I am? I'm Star-Lord, right? They didn't know who he was. And then immediately, as soon as he didn't even have to say who he was, they knew who he was. The whole episode, everyone's sucking his dick, right? Everyone's sucking his dick. Like, this Star-Lord is the hero of the galaxy. Everybody knows who he is. And it's like, by the way, it's not like he even had the Black Panther powers yet, because he didn't get those until he was an adult. He didn't get the powers of the Black Panther until he was an adult. So it's not even like he had some massive advantage to make him more famous or more competent or any of that. So it was just bizarre. It was like Mr. Perfect bizarre. Like, oh, let's suck his dick just because he's not Peter Quill, right? Almost as if they're saying, let's suck his dick because he's black and he's not blonde hairs, blue eyes, white guy. It was really odd. It was really odd. I liked the premise. I wanted to like it, but then right off the bat, I was like, this is odd. Why does everyone know who he is? Like, why are they, let's be realistic. Let's have a grounded story. Like, let's not just be, but he was a kid when he was abducted. In the movie, the Black Panther does not get his powers until he's an adult, right? He goes through the ceremony, and then the ceremony gives him his powers. So if he had his powers, then that would make sense that, he's like got like a huge advantage, because once you combine his powers with all this space technology, you could like be like some really competent hero. That would make sense, but that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. It was just really odd. And then what was really, I'm trying to do this in order and not skip around, but I'm probably gonna skip around. It's inevitable. And then they show us Thanos, and somehow just because T'Challa is so good and so much better than Peter Quill for whatever reason, even though he doesn't have his powers yet, right? He's just a regular dude without his powers, with training, obviously. But he's got training, but he doesn't have his powers. But somehow, Mr. Perfect T'Challa was able to talk Thanos out of the evils of his ways and make Thanos go straight. Right? Somehow, magically, he's so good and so perfect that he's able to talk Thanos into changing his ways, right? And then, so you got everyone worshiping him, everyone's hero worshiping this version of Star-Lord. When Peter Quill's Star-Lord, nobody knew who he was. Even though when you think about it, Peter Quill is the son of a Celestial, right? The Celestials created the Eternals, right? The Celestials are more powerful than the Eternals. And, like, let's do a ranking system. Right? You guys saw the Eternal trailer, right? The way they're advertising it, you got the Wakandans right here. The Eternals, created by the gods, the Celestials, are obviously more powerful than them. You can see that in the trailer, right? That means the Celestials are above the Eternals, right? Peter Quill is the son of a Celestial, so he's somewhere in between an Eternal and a Celestial, even though his powers never manifested. They never explored that at all. I mean, I was hoping they would, but then they just didn't. I mean, in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, there's a moment where he starts to have powers. And then they just never revisit that ever. For whatever reason. And I have a theory. I think I know why. I think I know why they neutered Peter Quill's Star-Lord after Guardians of the Galaxy 2. When was that? Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Like 2015 or something? 2000... Oh, you know what? Let's search it. We'll do Guardians of the Galaxy 2 IMDb release date. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 came out in 2017, right? 2017, right when the world was getting super political at the beginning of Trump's first term, right? At the time, and then after that, is around the same time where everyone started giving Chris Pratt flack for being a Christian and for being Republican, right? He started to get a whole bunch of shit from Hollywood and liberals for being a Christian and being a Republican. So that's my theory, is why they never explored Peter Quill's celestial powers, is because they decided to just treat the character as a joke character, like they treat Drax's character. Speaking of Drax, and going back into Thanos, yeah, I don't know if Thanos just didn't kill Drax's daughter and wife in this universe, but he's in the same room with Thanos and didn't get mad at all. And then on top of that, they neutered Thanos. So it's okay. It's one thing you want to tell me he's good now. Okay, you want to tell me he's good now. All right. But then on top of that, you somehow made his physical competency like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what it should be. Like he was only they made him like as powerful as Drax, right? In Infinity War, the Incredible Hulk has the highest strength ceiling limit that there is, because it's only limited by how angry he can get. And Thanos wipes the floor with him. Thanos wipes the floor with him, right? Iron Man and Doctor Strange were able to handle those soldiers in Infinity War no problem. But somehow Thanos was struggling and couldn't hold his ground against his old ex henchman. It was absolutely ridiculous, dude. He should have been able to wipe the floor. Thanos shouldn't have even needed the team there. He should have been able to wipe the entire floor with the entire freaking army all by himself. Right? And then, on top of all that, you got the Collector, who is a feeble old man in the movies, all of a sudden is jacked to the tits, looking like Super Saiyan Broly. Almost like Benicio del Toro visited the writer's room and said, "Hey guys, make me look good. Make me look nice." Right? Said, "Hey writer's room, make me look nice." Right? And then the writer's room was just like throwing in so much weird symbolism and political shit, like undertones, like constantly, like the henchman girl of the Collector all of a sudden saying like, "Oh, I like that you said we shouldn't put people in cages." Like Biden isn't doing the same exact, like Biden is putting people in cages, but everyone's just forgetting because no, it's okay. Because we don't want to talk about it when it's our guys doing it. But anyways, that's besides the point. Maybe that was just something I picked up on. But everything else I've said in this video is like, are you kidding me, dude? They neutered Thanos. That alone is enough to be like, fuck this shit, dude. Go lay down. Go lay down. Fucking dog, dude. Anyways, I didn't mind the ending when they finally did show Peter Quill and Ego showed up, but I do not have high hopes for episode 3 of What If. I do not have high hopes for episode 3. After the shit show that episodes 1 and 2 have been, I mean, we know what to expect from this show. Like, you expect woke messages, woke metaphors, nothing of substance. They can't even get the power levels of the characters right. Another thing that I was upset about, well, not upset, but I was waiting to see when Gamora was going to show up, but then Gamora never showed up. Right? And it's like, and the reason I get so mad about this stuff is not even, I wasn't even mad going in. I thought the idea of T'Challa getting kidnapped as a kid and becoming Star-Lord was a neat idea. It was an interesting idea. It was an interesting idea, but then the way they fleshed it out and the way they handled it and the way they turned him into Mr. Perfect for what, like, it made no sense. It made no sense. So they took a good concept and a good idea for mixing things up, and then they just bastardized it. And it's like, another thing is like, why does this shit go one way? Why does this shit go one way? Like, you know the story of Moses, right? They want to do all these what if scenarios. Well, what if a white character like Peter Quill or whoever else, it doesn't have to be Peter Quill, what if a white character was found in a basket as a baby in Wakanda? Just like the story of Moses. And then he becomes Prince. And then he becomes Black Panther. Or you want to call him, or maybe if you don't want to call him Black Panther, you can call him White Panther or whatever. Why can't we do that, right? Why does it always go one way? It's always one way. It makes no sense. Anyways, and I'm still stuck on the fact that they turned Thanos into a background goon on the level of like Drax. But whatever.